number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Now Williams running left. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that. They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fielded just inside the 30. Cordell Patterson. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 71-yard punt return. And the Bucs are pouring it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time.
Allen hit. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
He's run a premium in the first half. He's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. To throw, it's Allen. Forced out to his left. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. It's a pickup of 6.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
It's a jet sweep. Here comes Claypool with it. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And he hurls it in for a Buccaneer touchdown. Tyler Lockett with career touchdown number 75. And the Buccaneers take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Williams. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not, and right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game.
Allen hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tyler Lockett, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bucs get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Here's Allen to throw it. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted a picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops from one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Allen. That is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's Brian Anger now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out of this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking.
There he goes, left side. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Alvin Kamara, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Oh, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Allen going to throw.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Lions on third down. They've been stymied left and right and converted only one time. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Allen. And now another one thrown incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Detroit. That's taken it around the 40. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to him.
Yeah, he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Screen play set up for Williams. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. On play action, Allen. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Take it at the 37. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Flexing his muscle at the 30. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 91 yards rushing now for Kamara. It's a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously,